to raw layer, where by using DBT, we are doing all transformations, aggregations and all. We are just enriching that data set, which can be used for downstream systems or any consumers or analytics, right? So that is what our use case. So last session, where is, yeah. So we completed these two models. One is sources we created and final one is orders and line items. So we created two DBT models. One is orders and line items. This is lab 2. So that would be source for us. That is already there, right? So orders and line items. We created these two models. So this data is available in Snowflake because these data, these have been created like either table or view. Anything is fine. Otherwise, I mean, both these tables are available in Snowflake. So now what we are going to do today, we are going to create two more downstream models where we use both these models in the sense both the tables, orders table and line items table, where initially we did only just a kind of a little transformations, maybe changing column names or very few, right? Not really complex ones, but today, whatever we are going to do, it's kind of all aggregations, means by consolidating these two tables, we are applying some calculations. We are getting this orders item table from this orders and line item. Okay. From this again, combining, joining these orders and again this calculation table, right? Intermediate order items table. Again, we are going to create final mod table, that is a fact table, orders fact. Okay, so this is what end-to-end our use case. So this data is already there in Snowflake. So then what that intermediate model orders item, where we do all calculations. Okay, so we are going to create under model same thing, under mod score. We create this SQL intermediate orders item SQL and DBT same, but in my DBT you won't be able to see. So then I have given code. These are kind of a logic for all calculations. It's again, it's not really a great calculations. You should be able to understand very easily. Again, we are just wherever it is needed, we are just applying slight transformations. We are just changing some columns. Then here actual calculations by using these two data sets, we are applying calculations. Please go through it. It won't be complex, but because you have a lot coding experience, I don't think it is a really a complex for you. You will be able to understand very easily. It's all mathematics anyway, right? So we do these calculations. Before that, let me explain. I mean, if you see reference function, right? So this is very important function in DBT. So if you observe this one, this model, ideally, because we are just joining the data from two sources. Select star from, this is the orders table, and again we'll join. This is a line items table. Okay, so if you see this one, we are using this particular reference function. What it means, it will refer that whatever that source means. If you are giving that, it will take it as a reference. Okay, then it will call that particular table. It will take the data from that particular table. So this is what reference function. It is very, very important function in DBT project. Everywhere you use this one. So by using reference, it is kind of very much simplified, right? The code is kind of maintainable. We are able to understand very easily. Again, line item, same thing. We use reference and we are getting the data from this line items table. Okay. The other important feature of reference, it will create a dependency graph between data sets. What it means, suppose here you are using this reference function, right? It is using one is the source as order source and line item source. So when you run dbt run, it will just create dependency, means first dbt will execute orders table, it will execute line items table, then only it will go to orders items table. How come dbt know? Because of this reference function, because right, this table we are just taking the data from these two reference models. That's how it created dependency graph by using this reference function. So that is the kind of another benefit from reference function. Okay, so we create this intermediate orders item SQL by using this piece of code. You can just copy paste, but before that, probably if you're interested, understand what is this, but it is all mathematics, discount percentage and all. It's all calculations. Okay, then now we have this table is ready because we have done calculations between orders and line items. We joined these two tables and we created a table called orders item table. So finally, our end results, because we need to create a fact table. This is how we create. For fact table, again, we need a calculations, means whatever calculations we got in order items and orders, because we combine these two tables, then finally we create orders fact. This can be input for either your Tableau report or probably some analytics or whatever, right? So simple. I mean, basically we doing applying calculations on these two tables. Then this is ready. After that, we are calculating. We are doing calculations between orders table and intermediate orders item table. That's how it is. Okay. So for that final fact table, again, if you see, you're selecting, you're reading the data from orders table, right? It is there. Orders table is there. Okay, means you're using reference function, you get the data because you're using that model, particular model. Then select star from reference in intermediate orders items. So this we already we have created this table in previous model, right? So now that model is ready, that table is ready. So we are reading the data from that particular table by using again reference function. Then again, very slight transformations, probably wherever it is needed. Sorry, I'm just this one, right? We are just talking this one. So wherever slight transformations, again small calculations, sum of, right, how this column name, again it's all basic calculation, just a maths. We are just doing sum. We are getting this one, and finally it's kind of how our column should be. Just go through it. I don't think it is a complex. You should be able to understand very easily. So again, we are joining that two tables, and now your two models are ready in your DBT. Okay, so then run that command dbt run. If you run dbt command run, it will run all the models, right? If you want to specifically run the particular model, you can just give this command hyphen select particular. You can give that model, or if you give like this intermediate orders items plus, how it will work. This is what intermediate model, right? If you are giving, so it will run this model plus downstream, whatever it is there in downstream, it will run all those models also if you are giving plus here, because these two models will already run in our previous exercise. So now we need to run these two models. If you give this one, because this is a dependency, right? Because reference orders fact using intermediate orders item, right? So if you give that plus this kind of dbt command, what it will do, it will run this model plus whatever dependent models, I would say downstream models. So it will run this one and downstream orders fact as well. Okay, so anything you can give. I'm just explaining because we got that kind of scenario. Or if you give run dbt run command, it will run all the models. Okay, so finally, once you execute successfully, this is how you should be seeing in Snowflake. One is line items where yeah, order items. So you should be able to see these calculations like what is your discounted, right? So all those columns plus quantity, base price, discounted, all these calculations, because we applied in that model, you should be able to see that a table in your Snowflake. And finally, fact orders, where it should be somewhere in tables. Again, you need to see fact orders. This is the final model where your Tableau or whatever, right, will use this table as a fact table. All right. So any questions? Is it too complex or?
No, they're not too complex. I mean, when we give a try, we'll.
Yeah, I got it. So yeah, anyway, I will be sharing this complete code. Probably just go through it. It is not at all. It's because you're all very senior developers. It's very it should be very kind of very simple for you. So it's basically we're just, I mean, you all understand this model, right? We're just doing, I mean, applying calculations on two tables, and again to generate the fact model, we are applying calculations on these two models. Okay, that is what it is doing. So this is the code. So do this one to cross check. This is the final output you should get. One is intermediate order items where you should get all these calculations. You can cross check also because you're using the same data. Mostly you will get these values only. Then final fact orders also, this is how you should get. So I just shared the two screenshots. So this is how you should get final order. Yeah. Okay, so I will be sending you this one. So I mean, you can just proceed with your lab. Maybe today or again, same thing. I don't force. If you are busy today, just leave it. Tomorrow or any day, whenever you have time, you can do that. Okay, so because you have this document and all. So finally, tomorrow will be the tomorrow means I have one more session to cover because we covered up to here. That where we will be focusing on tests and generating documents. So that's where it's kind of it will be end-to-end complete flow. Okay, so if you understand from all 6 sessions, I think anything, I mean, it will be a similar kind of stuff. So